Today on The Young and the Restless, Diane worries about Kyle, Victoria, and Nate compare notes, and Tucker turns to Audra for help. Diane arrives at the Abbott mansion, where Kyle notes she's home early. She wants to sit and talk and asks if he has any job leads. Kyle says no. Diane reminds him they want him back at Jabot. She says that Jack seemed ready to get rid of Billy and bring him back, but Billy talked his way into staying. Kyle doesn't want his old job back just because she badgered him into it. Diane says she won't pressure Jack anymore, but he wants Kyle back at Jabot. Kyle whines that his father basically fired him. Diane is sure Billy will be out again soon. Kyle hopes she's right. He worries about the harm Billy could cause Jabot. At Jabot, Billy tells Jack he told Tucker they know about the cover-up and won't hesitate to use the information. He acted nonchalant, but Billy knows he's in a panic. He asks Jack if he spoke to Phyllis. Jack says she didn't admit to anything, but he knows her. She's covering. He thinks she is desperate for redemption and will do anything to get it. Phyllis may be just the weapon we need. At Society, Audra and Nikki think Claire will be a good addition to the team. Tucker walks in and needs to talk to Audra right now in private. She says she can't and leaves with Nikki. Tucker sits at the bar and texts Adam, "You will regret this." At Newman, Adam reads Tucker's text and grins. He enters Victor's office and confronts him about not trusting him, especially when it comes to Victoria. He asks, "When are you going to see that I'm not the one you should be worried about?" Victor's not worried about any of them. "I run this damn place." He'll axe anyone who is disloyal to him or Newman Enterprises. In the park, Nick fumes as he asks Sally if Adam took advantage of her. "I'm going to rip his head off." Sally protests that he didn't take advantage of her. They had a friendly dinner together earlier that night. They probably had a little too much to drink. Adam asked to walk her back to her suite, and she agreed. Nick realizes he kissed her then, and refuses to believe that Adam regretted it. He asks if his brother said anything else. Did he say he still loves you? Sally gawps, not knowing what to say. Nick stews. At the club, Nate tells Victoria that Victor is suspicious of Adam's turnaround. Victoria's glad he's not falling for it. It's good news he doesn't trust him any more than they do. Nate agrees but warns that Victor also doubts her. She fell into line too easily. Victoria muses, "So, my dad doesn't believe I'm sincere." Nate asks, "Were you being honest with what you said? Are you really open with your father's plans for Newman Enterprises and where that leaves you?" At Society, Tucker flashes to discuss the cover-up with Audra and her later telling him the threat has been neutralized. He then recalls Adam telling him he still has the emails, and Billy showing up at his suite to reveal he knows about the cover-up and won't hesitate to use the emails. Just then, Adam walks in and says, "Okay, you have my attention. What is it I'm going to regret?" Tucker tells him he was supposed to destroy the evidence about McCall, not sell it to the highest bidder. Adam claims he destroyed the emails and asks who the highest bidder is he's referring to. Tucker snaps, "Billy." Adam asks what he could possibly have that Billy would want so badly. Tucker tells Adam he was perfectly content letting him live his life. "I was going to forget about your attempt to blackmail me and use Phyllis to undercut my plans." Adam doesn't know what he's talking about. Tucker snaps, "Shut up." He tells Adam it's been a long time since they were friends, but now he's made him an enemy. "I hope you understand what a monumental mistake that is." Adam smirks as Tucker walks out. At the club, Victoria tells Nate she's going along with her father's wishes, for now. Nate isn't about to trust Adam with any information that could compromise the company and won't cultivate a relationship with him outside of work. Victoria wonders if her father asked Nate to get a read on her. Nate denies it. "I am always on your side." He's trying to protect her and will be the buffer between her and her father if need be. That said, he wants to know if she's playing games or if she meant it when she said she accepted her demotion. Victoria insists she meant it. Nate believes Victoria, who says that keeping the peace is in her best interest long term. Nate asks if she really believes her father being in the CEO chair is a mistake. Victoria thinks bringing Adam back into the company shows a serious error in judgment. Eventually, Adam's going to try and make some kind of move that will benefit him, and it will be detrimental to the company. Unfortunately, that may be what it takes for Victor to see the truth. In the park, Sally tells Nick not to make too much of the kiss. It meant nothing to her. Nick asks, "How did you feel afterward?" Sally stops and flashes to the kiss. Nick insists there's no judgment and implores her to be honest. Sally confesses she had a mixed reaction. The kiss was out of line, and she really did believe him when he said he knew it was out of line. It's just really hard to see the pain Adam is in, knowing he still loves her and she's with Nick. Nick fumes, "So there is a part of you that's still in love with him." Sally doesn't know how to answer that. She compares it to him and Sharon. Just because the relationship ends doesn't mean you don't have feelings. Nick argues it's not the same thing, you still have feelings for Adam. That's why you haven't been able to take that next emotional step with me. Sally insists they're just friends. Nick says she's either lying to herself or not admitting the truth. Adam has a hold on her and always will. Sally really loves what they have together. If she could straighten out her jumbled up emotions right now, she would. This is where she's at, but it doesn't mean she cares about him any less. Just please tell me I haven't screwed this up. Nick pulls her into a hug. Adam appears and watches with a frown. Adam approaches and greets them. Nick tells him to keep walking. Adam thinks he should let go of what happened with McCall Kirsten. Nick's not in the mood to let anything he does go. At the Abbott house, Diane wants to find a good position at Jabut for Kyle. But he would rather stay at home with Harrison than be in a position where he's forever in his father's shadow. Just then, Billy and Jack arrive. Billy tells Kyle, "I'm sorry to hear about Newman Media. What's next?" Kyle isn't sure. Jack says they'd be happy to have him return to Jabut. Kyle muses, "We'll see," and walks out of the room. Jack asks Diane, is he okay? At Newman, Victor flashes to warning Victoria that he'd have fired her if necessary, and that he still might. Nikki walks in and they hug and kiss. Victor says, "That's what I need. Midday kisses from my baby." Nikki reports that she hired a lovely new assistant. Victor reports that Victoria claims to have had a change of heart. Nikki's not sure about her working with Adam. Victor understands his concerns. "Are you really concerned about me resuming a full-time job here?" Nikki asks if it would matter if she said yes. They debate the long hours and stress and the toll it might take on Victor, who asks, "Don't I look healthy?" Nikki reminds him that they shouldn't take on any unnecessary stress because of her MS and his health issues over the years. She wants to take care of him as he always has her. They embrace. Victor loves being there wheeling and dealing with his children. Nikki wonders where the joy is in watching them go at each other. Victor vows that's going to end. He'll remind them what they're working for. The empire he built for them. "I'm going to whip them and the company into shape, to the point where Nicholas will say, I think I'm going to rejoin Newman Enterprises." Victoria listens as he says this. In the park, Nick bellows that he wants Adam to stay away from everything and everyone he loves. Sally tells Adam he really should just go. Adam says to Sally, "You told him, didn't you?" At the Abbott mansion, Billy asks Jack to let him know if he hears from Phyllis, and then leaves. Diane shakes her head. "Jack, why are you the one dealing with Phyllis in all of this?" Jack wants to focus on Kyle and asks, "Should we be concerned?" Diane thinks their son has lost his purpose. "We need to help him." Jack doesn't know what else to do. Kyle listens as Diane complains that he needs to know they value him, not just as their son, but as an important part of the company. In Audra's suite, Tucker tells her they have a big problem, and she will need to help him solve it. Audra learns that the Abbotts have the emails about the singer. Audra muses, interesting. She guesses Adam has ruined his plans to go after Jabut. What are you going to do now?